This is the Eurodragster podcast from Eurodragster.com, covering UK and European drag racing since 1997. Hosted by Graham and Chris. This bi-monthly show brings you the latest news, stories and updates from across the drag racing scene, with the occasional guest. This podcast is sponsored by Design by Binny. Now, let's get to it.
Welcome back to the Eurodragster.com podcast with me, Graham, and
Chris.
Chris way up north, me way out east.
Yeah.
Bayek.
Yeah.
I'm
about 4 hours away at 7:30 at night.
Well, don't let everybody win there. We could be doing this at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I know we're not.
Yeah.
Great. 2 guests lined up for you to listen to this evening. Both juniors that have both progressed beyond the junior classes. Great people to chat to, great people to talk to. They will follow after our usual bit of mumbling on, as we always do. This is episode 6. Welcome back. Thank you for the first 5 ambles through European drag racing. With us from Eurodragster.com. Always nice that you listen to us, download us, and send us very nice messages. I know we had another one this week, which I shared with Chris, which I was totally blown away by. He'll know who he sent, because I said I just muddle through, and he said, well, keep muddling along. So it's working, and we want to do this, and the more that the season starts, the better it will be. There'll be more information, more news, more feedback. I'm going to write bits and pieces as I do live reports. So if there's any fantastic pieces of running, competitors, everything like that, I'm going to bring them to you on the podcast. It'll be interesting, because I had a brainwave that when I finish at the track, and it's invariably on a Sunday evening, I thought, am I going to record this? So Chris and I might have to change our recording timing, to coincide with this. So, I mean, if it runs late on a Sunday evening and I don't get home till 10 o'clock at night, I am not going to be recording a podcast. But we'll see how it goes. We adopt every time we do another episode, and it's great fun. And I'm really thankful that Chris joins me, and all the people that have joined us so far. We've had some really great people chatting to us about their journeys. I love the fact that they want to be here, which is really good fun.
Yeah, it is. One
of our guests this evening that you'll hear first from is Jess Bishop. Jess has come on board with Eurodragster for this season alongside her racing career. She's going to join us in Pit Notes. She's going to be our excellent Pit Note reporter. She'll
be working alongside Diana, who does the Pit Note pictures.
Yeah, you had to think about that for a minute, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday evening, and we've had a whole weekend of doing weekend things, and now we're sitting down and recording a podcast when we think, oh heck, you know. But we're doing all right. We're doing all right. So we'll bring you up to speed on our news, our bits and pieces, our swift snippets. We've got a few events coming up soon. I know I'm down for one event. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I'm down for 2 events this month. So, yes, there are. You are. I'm down for 2 events. He's just checking. He's like, oh, yes, you are. So,
yeah, I'm just checking.
Yeah. Get that company credit card ready.
You've already got it.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
But you got the Apple Pay version.
Yeah. Well, so we're all other payment systems are available. Just want to put it there. Yeah. So Chris is going to bring you up to speed on the bits and pieces that we've got going on, and some of the birthdays. I know someone quite influential in the British Drag Racing Hall of Fame's birthday today, and she probably won't like us saying, but we're still going to do it anyway, because we just say happy birthday to everybody. And then I've got a bit of news from the NHRA because obviously something has been happening in America these past few days. So if I let Chris take the rein on this bit.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Graham. We're going to start with some birthdays, as we always do on the podcasts. We are recording on a Sunday. Obviously, today's birthday is... where I've lost myself. British Drag Racing Hall of Fame chair and member Leslie Wright. Happy birthday, Leslie. Hope you are having a great day.
Yeah, I did. I did send her a message, and she has actually replied to me. So, happy birthday, Leslie.
Yep. We've got a former UK Top Fuel racer and British Drag Racing Hall of Fame member Ros Pryor. Happy birthday.
Yep.
We've got a street eliminator racer Joe Stevens. We've got former drag bike racer and future or super comp crew chief Jerry Collier. That's today's birthday.
Ah, right. Are they today's, are they? What have we got for the next few days?
We have, obviously, on Monday, we have... Let me just go through my list. We've got VWDRC racers Charlie Roberts and Bruce Collins. We have... let's have a look. We've got another British Drag Racing Hall of Fame International Ambassador and Nostalgia Drag Racing legend.
Oh, yeah, that person.
Yep.
That's no reflection. Yeah, it's no reflection on the person.
No, sorry, but I've got a cold. Bob Muraves. I can't pronounce it. It's Muravez. Sorry.
Oh yeah, well, I said
Floyd Linnencott.
Yep.
If you've ever heard of that name, I'm sure it's very, very famous. And just not going to go too far on the birthdays. We have obviously on Tuesday we have Wild Bunch coordinator Claire Meadows. Happy birthday, Claire!
Oh, happy birthday, Wild Bunch coordinator Claire.
And Pro ET racer AC Bell.
Oh, absolutely, not far up the road from me.
Nope. And then if you go one more further, we've got Santa Pod Raceways fire crew Angie Daly. If I'm not sure if it.
Oh yeah, Angie works at the top end.
Angie.
Yep.
Yeah, top end. Yeah. Super Pro racer Mark Turner.
Ah, yep.
Yep, they're the following birthdays coming up through the week. I won't go too far.
We won't go too far because when we come out, we record one day, edit one day, release one day, and when we talk about today's birthdays, that's not the day that this gets released, so it's always a bit confusing.
Yeah.
But we never actually we just say happy birthday for all the people that have had birthdays, are having birthdays, and are yet to have birthdays on this week that we release. News as far as the site?
Yeah, previous news which we've published on the website. Obviously, we posted the Force of Nature latest update from Graham Sykes.
Yep, I see that he's let a few bits and pieces out of the bag, and he had an anniversary this week.
He did. Is it 39 years, I believe, was it? Was it 39 years?
I think it was 29, but I'm going to defer. I don't know. I did read it.
Yeah.
I did say happy anniversary, guys, and I told him to stay out of the workshop.
Yeah. Oh, 29 years. Sorry, Graham. I said 39. So it's 29.
We've aged him.
Yeah, we've aged him. I'm sure he'll be laughing when he listens to this.
Yeah.
So there's an update on the Force of Nature bike and what he's been doing, and he's announced his new sponsors. 2 new companies coming on board to help him with the bike. We've had some updates there from Kieran, MK1 Kieran. He posted some videos of the first run what you brung at Santa Pod last weekend.
I did see. Yeah, Luke went on his socials and said first run what you brung of the year.
Yep, obviously Eurodragster published the team for this year. You can all see our mugshots on there.
Oh yeah, very old mugshot of mine.
That's just the usual yearly post we do. It's been going on for many years. We've got the Santa Pod press release on the name's title sponsor for the Motorsport UK British Drag Racing Championship, which is Fuel Tech.
Yep.
They've come on board with Centrepod to be their name title sponsor.
Yes, they have
Obviously,
indeed.
there'll be more details on our website, obviously on this Centrepod website and Facebook page. You'll see all that information as well. And we have had a news update from PBR Top Fuel Bike. Jerry Luke sent me a report in from Phil Bainbridge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice little update on there and how the bike's coming on, ready for the season.
Yep.
I think that's on his Facebook page as well and our website.
Yes.
Thank you very much for sending that to us. Part 2 of the Pioneer stories we're doing for the British Drag Racing historians. Give that a read. That's really interesting how it goes, and goes right back to December 1963, I think it was.
Yeah.
That series.
Remember it well. Not at all.
And that's done by Nick Pettit and John Hunt.
Yeah, I shall be reading that part 2. I know part 3 is in the
read
wings.
it when I typed it.
Yeah, part 3 is.
I read it as I went.
I know part 3 from what you're telling me is quite a big one, so that's going to be good fun.
Yeah,
to
so
read.
this little series we're doing for anniversary series. This is like a few parts, and then there's going to be an anniversary coming up for the 60 years of Centrepod. I won't say too much into that, but that'll be coming up soon, probably at the end of the month.
Yep.
Hopefully. That is really it for much.
Yeah.
What we've been publishing. It went a little bit quiet. It is starting to build up again.
A lot of teams have actually knuckled down now, so they've realised it's closer than
Supercharge Outlaw Awards night. Winners and photos. Nigel Taylor from Unusual Car Sales sent that in from Paul Dale.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Paul, for that write-up. And there's some pictures.
Yeah, I think as far as it goes, we've not kicked into main season yet, but I know that it's getting closer all the time. I know that there are a lot of teams that are finalising things, putting together things.
Yep.
I know there are probably some teams that haven't even started the car.
Yes.
Oh no, you have started the car, haven't you? So,
yesterday,
yeah.
Oh, Saturday, shall I say?
And then
hopefully it'll be okay.
Yeah, so
but we'll let you know on the 29th of
March. yeah, when I cross the finish line.
If it's a go, no, I'm just gonna watch the season. So
yeah, great fun. Yeah,
Centrepod are seeking pit staff.
They are
staff to help set up the pit lanes prior to an event.
Oh, right. I believe that Max Frost used to do a lot of that, and I know Callum did it, and Liam did it.
I think Steve Warner does it at the moment. He does really a brilliant job setting up the pits, laying the pits out to get everyone in.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year will be a bit better with the extension of the pit lane.
I haven't seen any updates on that, and I know that they would.
Hopefully that'll be ready for Festival of Power, which it will ease. But also that opens the avenue of more teams to get into. But I don't know.
Yeah, and it's one thing that the teams have been crying out for is a lot more space.
Yeah.
And they've listened. Keith Bartlett and the team have obviously listened and reinvested in a lot more space. So that's good. I did see that they were digging out the burnout boxes,
really appreciate that,
and they've relayed those.
Yeah, so if you are close to Centrepod or you're willing to travel and you've got time through the week before the event and you'd like to get involved, get in touch with them at track@centrepod.com. Show your interest. I'm sure they'll be very grateful of many people to help out at the track before the event.
We often say that,
as you see, there's a lot of marking out to do and a lot of planning.
Yeah. We often say that
Steve Warner, which is very good.
A lot of what the competitors do and the riders do, and a lot is a lot built on quite a lot of planning beforehand and quite a lot of physical activity. I know that Chris and I do a lot behind the scenes to make things work. That's not to say that we're bigging ourselves up, but there is a lot more to the bigger scene, and Centrepod will run so well, and it needs those people there to do it. So if you've got the time, you've got the expertise, and you wanna help them out, just get in touch with them.
Yep, get in touch with them. And I think the last bit of news, I don't want to go too far back to what we've actually published. Coming up on Tuesday, which it might have already been gone by the time this comes live. We've got the SFI tour for your
Yes.
equipment to be tested.
Yes.
And it's run by Robinson Race Cars at Santapod.
Yeah, we mentioned this
Tuesday,
before,
10th
yeah.
March.
And it's actually come round quicker than we thought.
Yeah, there's been an update on the website regarding fees and how much it would cost to get your clutch tested, or starter, certified, or your front wheels, rear wheels,
Yep.
flexi plates, turbo chargers. There is a price list on the website I've posted. Obviously, they've posted it on Facebook as well. Just one big thing: it is only cash-only payments. So if you're going to turn up with a credit card or a bank card, you need to make sure you get some cash before you go.
Okay.
Or, as I said, this should be live after that particular day, but just in case we do publish it before the event. So.
Yeah, very important thing, that.
And I think that's all I've got for news. I said I don't want to go too far back because then it become old news. So.
Well, yeah, I really haven't got much news. I mean, I'm doing what I do. We've got some classifieds going up, some classifieds coming down, cars getting sold, cars getting put up for sale. There's always something going on in the classified section. Live reports are very quiet at the moment. They're obviously because there are no events. My first event for live reports will be Festival of Power. Yes. I will see everybody there. I know Chris is unfortunately unable to make that one. So I'll be in the tower as normal. I'll be there from the crack of dawn on Friday.
Yeah, I've got other engagements.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Life does happen. That is one of the vital things that we have to deal with. But that won't be the first for us at the track. No. It's a lot sooner than we anticipated. Not that I say it's a lot sooner than we thought we would want it to be. But Chris and I and Jess and hopefully Kirsty are going to go to. Well, we know we're going to Dial-In Day on the Saturday. On next Saturday, actually. So
yes. Saturday coming.
Yeah, this Saturday coming. So it'll be great fun. We are going to have a little wander around. I know that I've never experienced a full Dial-In Day, and I've only got word of mouth.
I have.
You have.
I've been on the racing side, and the classroom side.
I know they have theory, they have practical, and then they have a little competition. We're going to be there just to witness that. I've got some bits and pieces. I've spoken to the timing crew, and I'm going to do some bits and pieces up in the tower. Just put some bits and pieces together for the season, so I don't have to worry about it every time I go and leave. So it's just going to be there. Or then following on from that, my first reporting job as far as photographs will be the Straightliners kick-off at Santapod.
Yep. We do have Tog at Manson Park Raceway for their season opener, which is the 21st and 22nd of March.
So I believe he's there away on a weekend at Manston, and I'm there on the Sunday.
Yes.
At Pod, they only do a one-dayer. It's a good place to go. I enjoy going there, and it's a good fun. It's good fun, and we'll do a gallery. We'll do some. Hopefully, we'll get some write-ups if we can push it a little bit, and see if somebody will send us some bits and pieces. We don't get a lot from Straightliners apart from when Tog's at Melbourne. He sends us some bits and some information, which is good. Yeah. I'd like to get them. I'd like to get some of the drivers and some of the riders doing some of their stuff as well, and sending that in. That'll be good fun. If people do listen to this, drop us a line.
Yep.
Our email address is quite easy to find. Or you can go through the socials.
Melbourne's first event is on the 29th of March, which is the Spring Shakedown Test and Tune Day.
Yes, so that's the following week. Yeah,
I am doing that one. So hopefully we should get some timings and pictures, hopefully, from that. I don't know if Tog's going to be there. I'll have to double check with him. But I know I am there for that Sunday. Which
is good. Which adds to the long list of things that we said that we would always provide. We said we had a long list of events that Chris has posted up on the site.
66 in total, but if that remains at 66, it could be less.
It could be less. It could be less. We've set our targets on a good proportion of that, but things do happen. Things change at the last minute, so don't expect it to be a 100% attention rate. We will do that as much as we can. And we know that probably one is off the books, just because of what's happening with the site and with the world in total, really. I mean, fuel prices are now on the rise, so we know that things might change for some people, and we know that things will change for us. So, but that's neither here nor there. We'll keep racing, we'll keep reporting, we'll keep turning up as long as we can do that. One thing from me is, and this is, if you don't want to know what I'm going to say after this, which I'm going to announce, just turn off, come back after 5 minutes, mute it, because I'm going to give you the winners of the first event in America from the NHRA, from the Amalie Motor Oil Championships, the Gatornationals. I'm just going to give you the class winners. There's quite a little list. It seemed to be everything just suddenly came. I was watching everything online. I was watching the ladders, and then all of a sudden I checked online, and there were the results, and I was like, "Oh my good God, this is quick." Once they start, they don't finish; they just keep going. There were a few upsets. Austin Prock didn't qualify. In Funny Car, he's changed teams this year, left the John First family, and has joined Bob Tasker III's group as another driver. He and his father went out, but unfortunately didn't even qualify, which I thought was strange. And a lot of people have said that was very strange. But if you, as I say, you don't want to know the winners, mute it now. Come back in a couple of minutes and listen to our guests. Our guests that we've got lined up for this event are going to be great fun. You'll really enjoy it. So that being said, Top Fuel Round 1 champion Antron Brown. There's no surprise. He works his way through the field. Really does. Is there or thereabouts every round. Funny Car driver Chad Green. Brilliant driver. If I remember it rightly, he's a privateer, so he does everything on his own money, and he has sponsors, but obviously does a lot of his own. Pro Stock winner was Dallas Glenn, another name there that's always there or thereabouts. Funnily enough, same again for Pro Stock Motorcycle, Gage Herrera, always there or thereabouts with Matt Smith. What did make me giggle is when I look in the ladder, Matt Smith took on his wife in the semi-finals and beat her to put him in the final up against Gage Herrera. So that's going to be a good season for them. Top alcohol dragster Matthew Cummings. Top alcohol Funny Car. Now they split their top alcohol. Unfortunately, in this country we don't have enough, so we run it as one group. So Sean Bellemure, top alcohol Funny Car. Stock Eliminator was won by John Gray. Pro Mod was won by Mike Staverinos. Glenn Treadwell took Comp Eliminator. Brenda Grubbs took Super Stock. John Gray took the win in a Stock Eliminator. Robert Houston took Super Comp. Jason DeWitt took Super Gas. Wayne Brooks took Top Dragster. And the final class in my list, Factory Stock Showdown, was won by Jason Deitch. So all in all, quite a few names there. I'm sure we'll see some of the social media, YouTube videos coming out in the next week of how they got on. I know that Clay Milliken got through the first round and then was eliminated in the next. So, but a lot of people will watch that season avidly. I know from qualifying, Buddy Hull had quite an incident with a fire. Unfortunately, as the fire crossed the line, he deployed his parachutes, which sort of pulled him to the right into the path of Terry Haddock, and unfortunately clipped the front of Terry's car, which put him to the wall. I don't believe there was too much damage to either car, as much as you can tell from the YouTube channels. But they both made it to eliminations. Fantastic to see. I did watch the video of Buddy Hull pulling up, and the first thing that Terry Haddock does is he gets out of his car and goes straight over to the opponent's car to drag him out. always great to see, and to see those two cars back out again in the eliminations is fantastic to see. So
It is.
all's good in the NHRA. They're now going to start looking to the next event. I'm going to be looking at my list here. FMP NHRA Arizona Nationals presented by NGK Spark Plugs from the Firebird Motorsports Park in Chandler, Arizona. That's on March the 20th to the 22nd. So when we're competing at Manston and Santa Pod, there'll be another group of Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock. All the classes will be there. They will run on. You know, their season will run on, and I'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully we can bring all the information back as they transpire. We'd love some European. I do beg my pardon. I would love some American competitors to send us, some bits and pieces, some write-ups. That would be great to hear from. I'm still going to keep trying to get people to send me information, but I'm hope. I always live in hope. So, with that being said, we will take a 1 second break, and we will be right back with our first guest. Right, welcome back to our first guest this evening. A newbie as far as the Eurodragster.com goes, but a well-established racer, Pro ET racer, quite a well-known, very iconic car, iconic person, I would say. I can see this lady. She's laughing and joking, but this is the way we talk. We talk rubbish and we build everybody up, don't we, Chris? So, welcome to the Eurodragster.com podcast, Jess Bishop.
Hello.
Good evening, and how are you?
God, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Waiting.
Really good.
Waiting for the season to start.
It's getting too close too quick.
Well, it's suddenly. Have you noticed how the sudden start of 2026, it was a bit sluggish, and then all of a sudden we're in March?
Yeah.
Literally, it's like the car is still. I mean, we're still just ticking along, trying to get everything sorted. So, but leave it to the last minute as per. But it'll be all right. We'll be ready.
I think we do that as well, don't we, with this podcast, Chris?
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I'll give him a call, say, no, you're ready. No, I'm not even in the house.
Yeah. If you say about half an hour, 30 minutes ago, I was still in the car travelling home.
Oh, yeah, very, lastminute.com then.
He did something very civilised. I just went to the beach.
I went for an afternoon tea at a castle, so...
What on... I've just done bugger all day, so I mean, you guys are both doing better than me.
And you're not doing uni work? Good grief, what's the world coming to?
No, I have been, I just don't want to admit it. I don't want to be doing it.
That's fair enough. We've had enough in our life. We don't want to do it anymore. So, Pro ET driver, as we said, driver of the Nightmare 2 car. Very iconic, quite mysterious and brooding looking car. I don't know where the design came from.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a bit of a funny story. So obviously I started off in juniors. I got my license pre-COVID in 2019. Then we fired the junior up in the workshop and Conrad snapped. So that was like great. That's kind of halted us for a little bit. Then obviously, the pandemic in 2020 hit. No one was allowed to race or leave house. And then back on track day, snapped the crank in the car, so that was really, really fun. That put us out for the season, and yeah, everything just seemed to be a bloody nightmare, hence the name came into it. And then it was just sort of, we were just getting it done quite quick, and then it was just the black and red scheme happened and Nightmare came as it is now.
And I say, it's very iconic. It's even got the eyes on the front, so,
We actually stole that idea from Alan Schofield, funnily enough, because he had them on the car when we bought it, and Dad went, "That's cool, we're keeping that."
It's a good luck thing in Greek fishing boats as well, if I remember rightly off the top of my useless head. It's supposed to ward off evil.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's really helped us considering, the grievances we've had over the past few years with gearbox and starter motors and leaks and just
general
very
general wear and
frustrating.
tear, and say
Yeah,
if you had no bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all.
that's actually very true. That is very true.
Yeah. I tried to do a bit of not background search, but I did some questions, and I thought, right, I'm going to write these down. And there's a couple in there that are quite odd, and I thought, no, I'm never doing that. Sure, that's a bit highbrow even for me. But you say you started out in juniors and you moved up to Pro ET. I've noticed, even only in the last 2 years, the amount of juniors that have literally progressed into other classes is just phenomenal.
It is if I'm honest, it is the best thing, but it's also terrifying seeing people that were in junior stock when I started in JMA now, or people that I was racing back then going on to bigger and better things. I'm getting older, which is scary, but it's such good progression for the sport.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
moving on to bigger and better things.
Picking on names, and then just two names that pop into my head: Jacqueline Bartlett and Ellie Mae Brown.
100%. Yes.
And they're not small cars.
No, they're both girls that are racing juniors, and they have done absolutely phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, they've gone from juniors straight into what they are now, and it's just it's amazing to
see. Eva Davis is now, I seen her YouTube channel within a week or so ago. She's only got a couple of episodes, but just introducing you to a car. But the car that they're building for her, that is not going to be a slouch either.
Not at all. Not at all. I keep messaging her every day, being like, "Can I have some intel?" And she's like, "No, not at all."
No.
But I'm trying to get something out of her, but she won't allow it. But that's every single person that's progressing over the past couple of years been doing amazing. But again, it just shows how amazing juniors is.
Yeah.
For coming up into bigger classes, I'll always and forever be an advocate for juniors.
And obviously, there is a big sponsor. I don't honestly think that big sponsor for the junior classes has been 100% released yet. Chris will know more about that.
I think everyone knows who it is.
But there's not been an initial
official release yet from Centre Pod Racers Club yet. So
no, I was going to say I've not heard anything.
Guessing it's going to be this week, because I know Ian Marshall said there's going to be coming out soon. So.
Oh, that would be good though.
That will, and I know that specific person has done a lot more with another class this year.
Yeah, I was going to say you didn't really have to say much for me to have a certain name come to mind.
Yeah,
I think we released it last podcast. I think that's going to be announced by Centre Pod Racers Club as well.
Yeah.
About the shirt sponsor.
Yep. So that was the one thing that if you didn't actually, you would have heard us. We said that we changed our tack a little bit, and we used to sponsor a junior class. So what we've done now is we've tried to do something a little bit different, and we're going to be a shirt sponsor now for the next 4 years.
Oh, that's brilliant. And
shirts will change as and when they are deemed necessary, but they're automatically going to do 2 straight away for Dave Warren and Chris on the start line. So our name will be pretty much slap bang in the faces of every person that watches the live stream, which is always good.
That's brilliant. That is exactly
that was a Chris idea, so I bow to that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
Every time they need to replace a shirt or they get a new member of staff, and that's when they'll get a new shirt with our logo on. But to start off with, it's just going to be the 2 shirts.
That's amazing. Having 4 years as well of it, it's what I mean. It's exactly what's needed, as you were saying, straight slap bang in the middle of the live stream.
Yeah, and we didn't get any chance of where it's going to be, so it might be across the backside. We don't know, but I'll take anywhere on the back.
I mean, if I'm honest, if people are looking, I mean, it may as well be there.
It's really strange because we talk, just bigging ourselves up a little bit, the amount of people that actually come to us and say, first place I go to. And sometimes you sit there and you think, oh, great, brilliant, but you never actually think that. Because Chris does his news and he does his information on the line. I do the live report and I do the classifiers, and I just do as I do. It does. What people actually do the other end of the website, I don't actually look too much into. The podcast now I do because I'm interested, and I'm a bit power hungry for the podcast now, because we are 5 episodes in, and we're nearly at 1,000 downloads.
That's insane.
It is, and the amount of
so
people.
cool,
Chris will back us up, and the amount of people that have just
Yeah.
come to us and said, "Oh, this is what it needed," and we were like,
Yeah.
"Is it really?" There are
100%.
people
Yeah.
talk all the time, but I don't think people talk in a general sense. They don't talk as one
I
big group.
I think a lot of people, when we associate podcasts, they sometimes think of video podcasts, and they don't want to do it because they don't like to see themselves on a video,
Yeah.
which is fair enough. It's
And
just-
we always maintained that we
Yeah.
would never do that just because we've got complete faces for radio. So,
well, I don't know about that.
oh, handsome
Oh,
chap.
no, but if I'm being completely honest, I mean, what whoever it was saying, it is what it needed. I mean, when I first saw that the first episode had been announced and it had been announced that you guys were doing a podcast, it instantly reminded me of, do you remember the Santa podcast that they did over lockdown?
Yeah.
Yes.
That reminded me of that, and that was, over that period where it was so quiet outside, it was something that we needed. So I think summer, even if it is just for off season, it's brilliant to have people be able to have a bit of engagement there as well.
The plan
for the whole
was,
year.
yeah, the plan was just to keep going until people
Yeah.
get bored with it.
100%.
But when the season kicks in, we're going to have a lot more news. I've got
Yeah.
the reason that I talk on this because I've got a bright screen because I can see these people while I record with them. The real reason I've got a bright screen on one side of my head is I've got the NHRA results up, and the Gatornationals is actually finished now, so all the winners have been declared and I want to do.
I've been having a little look throughout the day, but I haven't
Yeah, and there are
some
some things in there that are sprung up at the first one of the season, but that's for another time. But let's talk about you. So we talk about the junior step up. So what has changed? What's the major difference for you between junior dragster and Pro ET?
For me, if I'm honest, well, number one is that we're going down an hour earlier, which beauty sleep is being cut down. But other than that, actual trackside, it's just, I feel like it got to a point where it was what I wanted. I was craving a little bit more, which I know sounds really silly. You're still doing 85 mile an hour, but I think you kind of get to a point where you just it's ready to move on.
Yep.
And that for me was definitely happened when it did, and it was it was a great opportunity. I didn't really have much time to think about it beforehand, so I think looking back at juniors compared to where I am now, it's obviously been a huge step, but it's not been as big as I was expecting it to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're still going on a green light. You're still going down a straight line.
Mostly.
Yeah. Well, the desire to win is still there 100%. You come to win. Sometimes the bigger picture is you come to compete, but you come to win as well.
Yeah.
Wins a bonus.
As much as I'm there to have fun, if I can do well in a meeting, there's obviously a bit of bonus there. I mean, I'll never stop talking about my win at Euros a couple of years ago in Pro ET, and that to this day is still my favourite race meeting, just because, not only because of the pride that I had in myself, but also just the response from everyone else. Everyone else makes it so much better, no matter win or lose. Just having people there celebrating or commiserating with you, it's just the best environment.
I've noticed that we talk often about the family aspect of everything, and how the classes run as a group, and how everybody just runs as Santa Pod in general, whether it be staff, track staff, marshals, crew, whatever, drivers, riders. But the one thing that I always notice the difference is, irrespective, win, lose, draw, whatever you do, there's always going to be a good word for everyone.
100%. I mean, the amount of times that we've had issues or we've forgotten a tool or something up at the racetrack, and there's been X amount of people come over and say, "Oh, we've got it. Do you need a hand? Do you want this? Do you want that?" Like, I remember when we had the gearbox issue, the gearbox C solid at Festival of Power in 2023. God, that's 3 years ago now. 2023. And the next meeting, it was still not working. The amount of people that have messaged me saying, "We've got a spare. Do you want it for the weekend?" And it was just incredible, the amount of people who are willing to help competitors. I don't think you see that in any other sport as much as you do here.
No, I mean, I often talk about coming from another discipline, Yes, they were a family, and yes, they did look after each other. But it wouldn't go down to, oh, I've ruined my engine. Here's another one. Your competitor that you've met in the final has offered you an engine. It wouldn't go as far as that. If you were out, you were out. And as much as people wanted to help you and put things right, there was still that final hurdle to get over. I've seen super street bike riders said, "Here's an engine, go and compete."
Yeah, 100%. It's just such a, like, I know that we keep using the word it's such a family, but it 100% is, and I wouldn't want to be in any other sport or discipline or anything, because I think that this is exactly what everyone up there needs. They need that support from others.
Yeah, and I think that goes everywhere. That comes down from the top. I mean, as Chris and I, Chris has sat in the tower from time to time with me, and has done live reporting from time to time when I've been otherwise engaged. But it's still not a case of us and them. The timing crew will do what they can to help you. Colin, Daryl, Luke, Tom, they will always do whatever they can to help you, and we always have a bit of a laugh and a joke up there. And it does try. They do try and make it light-hearted for you, but there is times when you have to knuckle down, and you have to toe the line. But I also think on the other end, if you take it too seriously, I personally think sometimes that can get in the way.
You can't ever take it too seriously, I think, because at that point you're falling out of love with it. I always think.
Yep.
If you're not having fun, it's just gonna go the other way.
Absolutely.
You've always got to enjoy what you're doing. That's the one thing that me and Dad have always said. The moment it stops being fun is the day we stop. Which, if I'm honest, I can't see ever happening. I
see. Now, when you go down, let's say you go down on a pass, I've seen your father about face and walk down, and invariably he's got a funny expression on his face. Whether it, what the heck was she doing, or brilliant, I know he wears a certain Viking helmet, so, which is, but yeah, I've got a very nice picture of him on a quad bike in a Viking helmet. But he's got a beaming smile on his face. He's very happy-go-lucky, but somewhere in the back of his brain he's boiling somewhere, going, all that for that,
We've had many a chat of a breakout or a red light, and it was, what the hell were you doing? Let's pull it that way. He's I love him to absolute pieces, but he can be a little manager sometimes and be like, you should have done this, and it's like, I know, Dad, I'm sorry.
I say, fine, but you put the race suit on, you put the helmet on, you drive it.
Don't, because he'll take the opportunity. After he had his first pass in the car at Flame and Thunder, we've been talking about it for a couple of years, and he was like, it's finally my time. And I honestly have never been so scared in my life. Stood outside of that car watching him go down. It's scarier being outside the car.
Oh, so it's calmer in the car than out?
Because I'm in control.
Oh, right.
That's 100% the reason. I've always said it, like, if I'm not in control of something, I'm more scared because I can't prevent anything from happening.
Yeah.
I trust my dad to pieces. He's the one that, he's got me into the motorsport kind of side of it. He's done everything in his life that he's really wanted other than drag racing, which is why I was like, okay, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, go on. Scratch that itch. Yeah.
Go on then. And now he just keeps going, when are we double entering? And I'm like, we're not.
I could just do. I can imagine you're not going to hot lap in that car. No.
To be fair, I mean, we run water, so we could.
Yeah. Well, that is very true. Yeah, I do get that. He says, "What's your favourite?"
Don't tell him I said that though, because he'll start getting ideas.
No, I will say, Dad, you're not driving it. Hard luck. It's official.
Well, if he listens to the podcast, you'll know, won't you? So.
Yeah.
Don't. He's gonna call me Tuesday night. So about this year.
Yeah. What are we doing? When am I driving? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he is keen to do it again, but time will come.
Oh God, there's some absolute professional questions on here, and I'm just like, nah, we're not even going there. Blimey. And he says, what's your favourite setup? But that you can't do that. Is there something you want to try with the car? And then there's a good question. Is there something you want to do different?
So one thing that we really did want to do was go on to race fuel, and we did for Flame and Thunder. But as I've expressed to you guys before, we had some carb issues at Flame and Thunder, which we didn't really give it a proper go. We'd love to run race fuel eventually, but this year we've gone back to petrol because there wasn't really much benefit from it, and it's also a lot more dollar. I mean,
Very much so.
Dad, our main sponsor is DEP, which is Dad's Empty Pockets.
Yeah.
And they've got significantly more empty since coming into Pro ET and all the issues. So I mean, I think as to keep it as budget friendly as possible,
Yeah.
I'm happy where I am. I don't think we'd really want to change anything as to where we are right now. I think we're both, well, I say both, I'm very content with where we are at the minute. So.
Yeah. Well, that's quite admirable. I like that DEP. I'll have to remember that. That's really quite good.
That was the one thing Lee said to me.
Who are you sponsored by? DEP. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, I know you've got the podcast tonight. If you don't talk about DEP, you're not racing this year.
Right.
So I had to mention it. So you're welcome, Dad.
Yeah. There, has he got short arms and deep pockets, as somebody used to say?
Yes, very much so.
But I always remember Kev Kent's funny car and your fuel's here. So I was like, oh really? What's this? I've never seen this before. And he comes out and he unloads his 40-litre drums of nitro, and you're like, good grief, how much is that? And that's phenomenal.
Let's just keep it as how much don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because that's when it starts getting a bit.
Yeah.
It's getting deeper.
I know a certain track owner that I work at that says, whatever you do, don't tell my wife how much this costs because she does the books, and I'll never hear the end of it. Yeah, I'll never hear the end of it. And I've known him for a long time, and he's a very passionate man about his own track, and everybody races there, and everybody loves racing there. And funnily enough, the day after Dial-In Day, I'm there on the Sunday. So I've got somebody's
It's going to be a jam-packed weekend.
Yeah, I've got a testimonial to officiate over, so that's going to be good fun. 16 motorbike riders racing around a track. Lovely. Methanol single cylinders. We love them.
That'll be cool, yeah.
Yeah, 500cc single cylinder methanol motorbikes with no brakes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Sounds
they're just as mad.
good
They're
at
just
that
as
point,
mad.
yeah.
They're just as mad.
They're crazy.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy.
just as mad.
Anything on two wheels, no matter what it is, still
Never.
crazy.
No. And I've said this many a time in the podcast. It's the one motorsport I won't do because it scares the living daylights out of me.
It still even shocks me about junior bikes, if I'm honest. I remember the first time I went up to Pod and Dad was like, "These are junior bikes." I'm like, "They're kids on that."
Yeah.
I know. I still can't get my head around it.
I come from a little bit of an oval racing scene as well, and there is an annoying class. I have to be careful what I say. It's annoying to me. They're called ninja carts, and they're little go-karts with a chainsaw engine in. So they're very, very small engine, and they've got a full body on and a wing on. And they don't go very fast, but the entry age for that class is 6.
I'm sorry.
6 years old, yeah. You can race from 6 years old. And these kids have got no fear whatsoever, and it scares the living daylights out of me. But
honestly, at 6 years old, the only thing you're thinking about is if you're getting dino nuggets for dinner or not. So,
I do that anyway, and I'm not 6.
Add a couple years onto it, just a few.
Well, yeah. And it says, let's say there's another question. He says, what's the biggest lesson the sport has taught you? What has
Don't take it seriously.
Don't take it. Is that the biggest thing? Don't take anything seriously.
So yeah, just literally, if you take it serious, it's just going to drain the fun out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, going back to last week's episode, Rob and Pete Brown, they said that this year, they were taking it a bit serious and they need to stop. It's that thing that you just need to enjoy it, because you're going to get too in your own head, and then it gets you big-headed, and then you just got to enjoy it.
I think with Rob and Pete, one thing that I got from that was if they suddenly take it very seriously and want to be competitive Not that they aren't at the moment, but if they want to be like the number one all the time, every time, you're going to say, "Who are you? Who? Where's Rob and Pete gone?" You know, because they are the their years of racing have made them who they are, and that's what people expect.
100%.
And I love them for it. I think they're brilliant at what they do. I love the fact that
I was giving them a handout last year. I was helping them Rathchild last year, and the year up there with them was brilliant. It gave me, the different side of it as well, because usually I'm just up at the SPR events and the kind of main championship, I call it, rather than the nostalgia events. And being up there that last year, it grew my love for nostalgia racing more than anything. And it was also, you got to see a different side of it.
Yeah,
but
they're a brilliant couple of guys, and I still can't get over the fact
amazing.
that they sit on the rear axle. So my brain will never ever make that work.
No, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It is. It said so. Drag racing is changing all the time, and you say your step up from juniors into Pro ET. Do you see yourself in Pro ET for good, or do you want to push it harder?
No, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm hoping at some point to step up. Everything, Dad's always said to me, he's always been one for speed.
Yeah.
And he's always been one for going quicker. And I think that, I'm so happy with where I am at Pro ET at the minute. The family in the class alone is brilliant.
Yep.
Even just, if you look at Brett Featherstone and Debs, the amount they do for the class, it makes it so family oriented, which is one of the main reasons why I'm so happy where I am. But I'd love to step up. I'd love to put a nice supercharger on the car at some point with hopes and Dad's pocket getting a little bit
hopes and dreams. Yeah.
I say I think that's what we're living on.
It's the same thing with me. When I spoke to Lee Brown, obviously, I said, so what's changed? Why step up to Super Comp? And he's like, oh no, she wanted to progress and she was too old for juniors now, and we wanted to do something. Oh, I've got this car, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, but we were waiting for parts. And then obviously she goes out and she runs it, and I said, well, that was okay, wasn't it? And he went, well, she's really annoying me at the moment. I said, well, why is that? Because she can't wait till she's 18 because she just wants to go fast. Because you're limited under 18, aren't you, on speed?
Yeah.
And she was like, I just want to put my foot down. And so when she was 18, she was off and running,
Yeah.
And I think that it's just that there's that little, let's say, the itch that you need to scratch. And the big thing is speed, isn't it? You always want that little bit more.
Yeah. Well, like I say, that reminds me of when we ran the 8 at national finals. We'd been kind of hoping for a lucky 8, but we were kind of in the 19 sort of area, and we're like, it's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen this season. And then all of a sudden I pull a 895 out of somewhere, and that was kind of like, it scratched an itch I didn't realise needed itching.
Yeah.
It was just something kind of went, oh my god, we've got that ticked off.
Yeah.
That's one more thing on the progression list.
I get that from a lot of racers. A lot of them have set themselves PBs, they set themselves targets. I think, like, let's take Colin Miller for this year, when he's coming out of Festival of Power to do his licensing in Top Fuel.
Insane. Still absolutely insane.
Yeah, well, absolutely, 100%. I don't know why he would do it, but there we go. It's going to be great to see it. He said to me, I said, so what's the plan? And he said, do you know what? I just want a license first. I just want to go through the motions, get used to everything, do what I need to do. And that sounded like a very level-headed man to me. And I thought, do you know what? You're coming into a class that is the absolute pinnacle of every class. It's, I'm not saying it's the fastest, because we know obviously that the NHRA Top Fuelers are faster. But then they've got the finances. They're professional drivers. That's all they do. They have massive teams behind them. Here in this country, not so much. And I know that people are constantly, we can't come out this time because we haven't got the parts. Steve Ashdown being one, they're still waiting for parts, so they're not coming to play at Festival of Power. But I think that's just the way that the sport is. It's not just about a battle on track. It's about a battle with everything else. Like, staff, I think, is one of the crew, is one of the biggest things that people have problems with.
it's just there's always something, I feel like, with racing. You know, there's always something that could be better or something that people are looking for, which it's a shame to see people, especially bigger teams, not being able to come out because of parts or crew or whatever, you know, this, that and the third, or it could be. But whenever they do come back, it's always so warm welcomed, and it's always, you know, people are waiting for it.
Yeah.
And people are excited that they're back, even if they don't go out and, you know, win events and championships. It's seeing a familiar name back, you know, and I know from spectators' point of view, it's the same as well.
It's one of the things that I don't have the skill in, and I know Tom's very good at that, and obviously Colin and Daryl as well. And they look at cars, and I reckon, I talk about this, especially when I was talking to Rob and Pete. I said I only recognise them from the back of their heads. Or I recognise cars now. I recognise, you know, I'm sitting there and I've been reviewing a lot of old stuff on YouTube, and I go, oh, that's such and such. Oh, that's such and such. And my wife is like, will you shut up? You know, but that's how I've learned. But with Colin, Tom and Daryl, they're like, oh, isn't that such and such? And wasn't that such and such's car? And that was that before that, and that was before that. And that knowledge is quite unique in their own right. I know Colin writes a lot of things down. I mean, I do as well. I've actually had to invest in a new book for this year because the other one was full of meaningless scribble and lots of times and lots of lists of people and lots of winnings and losings and things like this going wrong. And I think that's one of the big things that I've had to learn from my point of view. And I just sit on my backside all day. Is learning who people are, what they are, where they're from. I get a lot of notes on the commentator screen that tells me information, but I try to impart some of that information in the way that live reports work as well. So speaking to people yourself, that's going to help me 100% as well, because I'll read your notes as well. Because then I can elaborate on a few bits and pieces that your pit notes will bring to the thing. So, like we said about parts, you know, have you got this? Has anybody got this bolt for this converter? And you're like, oh, you know, and you put that out on the pit notes, and it helps people, and that's where the family comes in. But then obviously I know that as well because I've seen it on your notes, and then I can push that even further. And I think that's one of the big things that I've had to learn. I mean, but we often say this. Chris and I will say this. We say it's a steep learning curve, but to some people like me, it was absolutely vertical. You know.
Yeah. Every day is a learning curve at the moment with Eurodragster.
Yeah, we're finding new things all the time.
It's coming into our third season, so it's still learning.
Yeah, but we've actually decided that we don't want to rest on our laurels. We just want to push this thing harder, and we tried to do the international visits in the first year, and we knew that it was going to be a push. And then the second year came along, said, yeah, we're going to do it. And then we said, well, no, we can't. And the same for this year. We've tried and tried and tried, and we exhaust every possibility. And we look at every bit of finance that comes into our...
We forecast what we need to spend.
Yeah, and it's sometimes it's just not worth the hassle. And I think we made the decision without something surprising falling in our laps. We just can't do it again, which is disheartening for us, because we know that people want that sort of thing. But what we've said is we're never going to push something that we can't do.
No, but I think the good thing on the other side of that is the amount of racers that are going over to European events. You know, even if they just send in, you know, a little summary, even if it's just themselves racing. Like I know Ronnie Mars, for example, first name that popped ahead, did a massive tour last year. If we could get someone like that to just, even if it's just a little review of their weekend or something, it's still something to publish about European.
Getting the results of the end of the day results, we've got contacts to get them for Sweden.
Oh, that's brilliant then,
Yeah, we've got loads of international connections. We as I often say, that we could do with a lot more in America, and it's proving to be very difficult in America, because they aren't going to sit up and take notes of us. But I'm not gonna whine about that. I'm not gonna moan about that. We're just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing. But with you coming on board, we think that that's another step for us, for you to do what you do, to make it your own, and also for us to learn your ways. I mean, we're not going to say this is what you need to do and this is how you're going to do it. We're just going to say, Jess, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just do what you.
Yeah.
We've given you some guidance from Simon from when he
which was
did
brilliant.
it for 15 years, 16 years in the pits.
Yeah, but Simon was
But
very
you
good
won't
at
have to
building
follow
guides,
his
wasn't he?
steps. Yeah, just that's more like a little guide for you. But you can make it your own, and once you've done it a few times, it will become Jess's report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, as I've said, earlier, I am the type of person that will just go around. I mean, even years prior to this, just go around and talk to people and just have a natter. Because I mean, before this, I've got no ties to drag racing. I'm the first in the family to be doing racing.
Yep.
I started as a spectator. I started being that, the little kid who went around saying, "Oh, can I sit in the car? Can I do this?" So I've always been a person who's gone out and had the chats and got to know people and get their personalities out, which I'm hoping, at least, fingers crossed and touch wood, that I can reflect in the notes. I just want to get as much out as I can for people.
I wouldn't want to push you too hard. I mean, I want you to do everything at your own speed. And I mean, obviously, the biggest thing for us is obviously you're a driver first and foremost. And Chris and I said the first thing that when your name came up, we were like, we can't expect you to be 100% on our side, and we love you to do as much as you can, but we're never going to stand in the way.
It's one of the reasons why we sent a few emails back and forth and asking, can you do this and can you do that? And all your response you came back, I say we were 100% impressed.
Yeah, so absolutely, absolutely.
We've decided to get you on board.
Yeah, and we think that it's what Chris and I need, because we need a bit of a kick up the bum every now and again. His driving career, especially.
I'm not at Centre Pod as much as Graham is. I do come down for the bigger events, and if I'm racing, I'm there as well. I'm not there for Festival of Power.
No, see, I'm obviously there next week. I think my first
holiday.
My first event.
Centre Pod's a holiday.
Yeah, come and stay.
Yeah.
I think my first event is straight lines.
Child, it's different. So.
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my first event is straight liners on. I think it's the 22nd, isn't it, Chris? If I remember rightly off the top of my head.
It is, yeah. I was going to race that one. Because I've joined the 660 club at straight liners.
Oh, that's cool.
Quick. Melbourne is closer for me, so I will be doing a lot more at Melbourne, but I will be doing some Centre Pod races as well.
Yeah, so I say
I'm doing a test day at the end of the month. So
bits and pieces for straight liners, and then obviously Festival of Power is my first live report of the season, so that's a lovely 3-dayer. Good job, I got 4 days off work.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, we'll take that. I'll win. So what we'll do is we'll come to our final question, and then we're gonna move on with other bits and pieces. And I thought this was quite a pertinent question, and it's quite deep. And it says, if you could give one piece of advice to young racers, especially women entering motorsport, what would it be? I know what I would say.
Just do it.
Yep, exactly the same as me. Just get on with it.
100%. I mean, when I first started in juniors at school, I had the boys take the mick, doing the whole, women can't drive, all of that malarkey. And it's just, I got to prove them wrong on track. And
let your racing do the talking.
Yeah. It's so liberating for myself coming into something like this. I've always been a person who's, very, very proud to be a woman in motorsport.
Yeah.
And very glad with where I am in my life and in my racing career, and that it's just do it. Just don't have any fears. Be yourself. Because I remember I was more scared about making friends than I was about racing. And as I've been saying however many times, there's so much family around. Just literally just do it. Just go and enjoy it.
I think that's quite a big thing, is to say the first thing that popped into my head was just do it. Just do it. And I think what's good about Centre Pod, and especially the meetings that they run, is that's always been the same from day one. It's never been a male or female orientated thing. You don't have men's classes and you don't have women's classes. Everybody is just a racer or a rider. That's just the way it needs to be. And I think that needs to be the same in quite a few sports, but I know that we're not, as a nation, we're not very ahead of ourselves in that respect. But I love the fact that motorsport just does what it wants to do, and it deals with it properly.
I mean, if you look at Top Fuel and that, how many women now are in the bigger ranks?
Absolutely.
You know, not just in this country, but if you look in America, Australia, or even in Europe, there's so many more women coming into it. And if I'm honest, dominating. Nothing against the guys listening,
Nope.
or, you know, it's just so amazing to see young women as well just coming into it and doing amazing.
Yeah, as I said, I cut a sticker for someone a long time ago. He asked me for some more the other day, and I can't say what it exactly said because it wasn't actually it was a bit of expletive, and it was basically don't whine about it, just get better.
Yeah.
If you want to compete, just get better.
All you can do.
Yeah, all you can do.
Yeah.
All you can do. And that being said, thank you very much for joining this evening. Go do your revising or your write-ups or your dissertation.
Thank you very much.
Or
Yay, more work.
probably have a drink and think thank God I finished that and got through it without being rude. As I said to Tom, and you know Tom
Yeah,
as much as I do.
I did write a little "do not swear" just have next to me just in case.
I said that to Tom.
He has a little breather just before recording. So.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I did say
got
that
it
to
all out
Tom.
of me.
I did say that. I said that to Tom. You can say anything you want, just don't swear. And he was like, okay, far enough. So we got through our interview and we had a good laugh and a good joke. And then when we finished, I turned the recording off and he just saw his head off. So he got it all out.
I was gonna say I'm surprised that you got him that blooming PG for a while.
But Tom's Tom, and he'll never change.
That is about all you can say about Tom. Tom is Tom.
Yep, the Tominator. Yes, it's purple race bike this year.
Yes, it's so cool.
It is. And the only thing that was missing from it,
everyone's going purple this year for some reason.
Everyone's going purple. There's two vehicles, isn't it? That
Nathan Hulk.
Yeah, Nathan Hulk.
A purple wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, we've known about that for a few weeks now. He told us a long time ago. We did do a spy picture of it, but then he sort of let the cat out of the bag a week later. Yeah. So
and I did do a spy picture resolved afterwards, which is just what he put on Facebook.
Yeah, which is good. Well, thank you for joining us, and have a good evening.
Very much,
Welcome back to our second guest of the recording, junior drag bike rider, I should say, junior drag bike rider, and now ET bike rider, Mr. Declan Butt. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Declan.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We have to apologise. We record this on a Sunday evening. We try and keep everybody moving along as fast as we can, but because we amble along and talk about things at a very strange rate, we often lose track of time. So we're running a little bit late, but we wanted to give Declan his full expose, we should say, for what he's up to. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, Declan, what you're up to now and where you've been, basically. I know last year you were junior drag bike.
Yeah, well, it's been, I've not really started racing. I've not been racing long. I started in 2023, so I've been racing 2.5 years. I did motocross racing before for 8 years from when I was 4.
Oh, wow.
But my dad used to race at Shaky, and then it got to a point where I wasn't really enjoying the motocross, and I always wanted to try drag racing out. So he brought my first bike, and ever since then I've been hooked.
Yep, which seems to be a very common thing. I think everybody is sat on the bank at one time, or they've watched other people, or they've had family racing. And I think that's pretty much where a lot of the runners and riders come from in Santa Pod. Well, obviously, you said you see your father racing at Shaky. Pity it's not around anymore, but you got the bug. So was it? Was he on 2 wheels then?
Yeah, he was on 2 wheels.
Yep. So
he had a lot of friends racing cars as well.
Oh, right.
Which equally, I mean, I love bikes, but I always wanted to have a go in a slingshot dragster.
You see, we were talking last time to Rob and Pete Brown, and I said, I don't get how you do it, and they were like, but it's all we've ever done, so we love what we do, and it bores my brain sometimes what they actually do, and I think there are a lot of people out there that do what they do and compete in their class and on their bikes and in their cars, but I also think that there's something that just sits in the back of their brain that they wanna have a go at as well.
Yeah.
So with junior drag bike, is that split like you say? You have to educate me here, and I'm not like it. I don't know too much about it. Is that the same as junior dragster in the fact that you have classes within the class?
Yeah, it's the same. They've got junior bike modified, and junior bike pro.
Ah, right. So you work your way through, or
Well, however old you are, the class you go into, the same as junior dragster.
oh, right. So when you finished riding last year, you were pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that allows you to have bigger engine size, more speed.
Yeah, if you're junior bike pro, you can run a 790, 85 mile an hour.
Okay. And
what
CC is that then?
I was on a CBR 400.
Oh, blimey!
You can have a 500. I'm pretty sure.
Blimey! I would never dream of that. I mean, I was thinking like, I don't know, 125, 250 or something like that. But 400 is quite a fairly substantial engine.
Yeah, it's always a buzz. I went from a 125 up to the 400. It was quite the step, but it was a really good season last year. I wouldn't have changed it for anything.
Yeah, and I think that's what everybody aspires to. I mean, Jess, we've just had a good old chat with Jess, and she said, there's always that little bit more that I want. She wants a supercharger, but her dad says he's got short arms and deep pockets, so he can't quite reach the money to put a supercharger on the car. But yeah, you've made that quite a leap to ET Bike this year.
Yeah, this year I'm going to be racing a GSXR 1000.
So from 400 to 1,000 cc. Good grief, that's huge. That's more than double the power.
Yeah, we've been working on it from literally the last event. My dad, because I didn't know about it until the last event, my dad showed me a picture of it, and we've been working on it ever since.
Yeah, and if I'm right in thinking, you've got yourself a target. You've got yourself a grudge match.
Yes, I do.
That seems to be quite a big thing. You said that whatever I want to do, I just want to race Phil Pratt, I think.
Yep, that is my one thing I want to do next year is race Phil Pratt, because there's a lot of people in ET Bike that I can't wait to race, because I've looked up to them for many years, and to race against them, even to lose against them, would be like, it would just be, I wouldn't care if I lost. I just want to be able to race them.
Yeah, and that do you know what? That's a very admirable thing to say. A lot of people go out there, and we say, as I said to Jess earlier, a lot of people want to win, and I think winning is a bonus. But everybody just wants to compete. They want to be there. They want to be part of that thing, that race. And I said that's a very admirable said. Win or lose, I don't really mind. But just to be there is enough at the moment. But you also, I think everybody wants to be competitive. I know I would. I'm terribly competitive in what I do, but that's standing still and not doing anything.
Yeah, the thing is, me and my dad have spoke about that a lot. Is it's first season on a brand new bike. You can't expect to go out there and be winning all the time.
Well, no, that is fair. And I think if you set yourself that target, that you say, I'm not going to settle for anything less, as Jess said, the fun's going to go out of it, I think, and you're not going to, and an enjoyment and is a big step to being comfortable with your chosen weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, from 400 to 1,000 cc, I mean, you're limited on 1,000? Is there a time for ET? Oh, I mean, it's dial-in, so you set yourself, but there has got to be...
limit, I think it's 890 to the quarter. 870 to the quarter, I'm pretty sure.
870 to the quarter. So...
Yes.
And that's going to be a bigger thing as well. You're now going to be racing to the quarter. And you don't let off after the 8th.
No.
So
I won't be surprised if I make that mistake once or twice.
Keep it pinned, I think, is the word.
Yeah.
Don't stop yet. Go past, and you're not going to probably come off at the first exit by the scrutineers.
No, if I do, I'll be very ballsy on the brakes.
That might be quite interesting. Do you find that you think you're going to talk to a lot of people? Your father's obviously got a lot of knowledge, and he knows where he wants to be, and he knows what he wants you to be. But I think you're gonna soak up everybody around you. You're a time in your life where you're gonna absorb everything. You're gonna take all the best of everybody and the worst of nobody.
Yeah, well, I've been even this year, just knowing I'm going to be stepping up next year. I always go up to the grandstands to watch like ET Bike and even like Super Street because my aim goal when I'm obviously a lot older when I'm paying for my own bike because Dad is not going to pay for a Super Street bike. But my ultimate goal is to race in Super Street bike.
Yeah, and I think everybody that I don't know, it sounds quite big-headed of me, and I'm sure he wouldn't say this about himself. But everybody wants to be Jake Michel, don't they? They really want. They want to be. They really do. They want to beat him.
Yeah, this is very true.
Everybody is beatable every day. You know, there are certain factors that come into it. I mean, engines and wheels and riders and brains and weather, everything affects them. And anybody can be beaten on any single day. But
Yeah,
you set yourself a target, like you said with this grudge match. You set yourself a target that you want to race Phil Pratt, and you don't really care if you win, lose, or anything. You know, you just want to be there and ride him. You know, you just want to be there.
racing one of the best people that has spoken to me like over last season, spoke to me, giving me advice, and like their Phil and Sue is very welcoming all the time. I always end up in their caravan of an evening talking to him or something.
And I think that's brilliant. I love the fact that people are so welcoming. I mean, it's not. I mean, I look at America and I'm sitting here with a screen that's glowing of the NHRA results, and some of them are unexpected and some of them aren't. But I think they are very much in the camp of you're not looking at my settings. You know, I'm not going to do that. But I believe in Europe, and the UK especially, it's very different. People always say, "Well, have you tried this? What about that? How about this? Here's as we said before. Here's an engine." No,
Yeah,
but go out and race, and I think that's the biggest thing that I've ever noticed. Because I suppose I've been in the past to a lot of the lifestyle shows, but I haven't. I've only been professionally at the bigger classes for coming into our third year now. So Chris and I took over this two and a bit years ago, 3 years ago. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But
it was around about January 2024.
yeah, 24. Yeah, so it was two.
We
Yeah,
started talking to Simon.
yeah. So we took over when Simon decided to step back and retire, and
Yep.
we've. And I say I've had to learn quite quickly, and I have a lot of admiration for everybody that goes on that start line, whether the bike breaks or something doesn't go according to plan, or they end up exactly where they don't want to be in the field at the end. They've overrun, something's not started, they've backfired, they pushed it off the line. I feel for every single person on that start line, and to get down there and do that. Top Fuel is one bikes that I another one that I can't fathom, but that I have a lot of admiration and a lot of respect, I think the word is, for everybody. And as you, I mean, taking that step from a 400cc bike to a 1000cc bike, I have to be honest, it blows my mind. I wouldn't do it.
it's something that as a 16-year-old you wouldn't ever think that's going to happen.
No, you would not. And you see the junior ride. I mean, the junior drag bike ride, the junior dragsters, the junior class is full stop. I mean, such a breeding ground for the bigger classes. And we said to Jess about obviously people progressing through the junior ranks and then moving up to a different class. And you would be probably in the bike classes would be number one on that list. You know, you could have got to that point in your riding career. We said, well, I finished junior now. I've done that. I've claimed that milestone. I'm just going to sit back and now. But no, you've said no. Let's keep going. We want to do more.
Yeah, this I think I said this to my dad. I always thought motocross was going to be my life, but after doing drag racing, this is just going to be the rest of my life. Like I said, I've got my ultimate goal that I would love to race in a super street bike one day, and I plan to get to that goal. So I plan getting a job with a lot of money and then spending it all very quickly.
I think everybody does that no matter what they do. They obviously get a job that pays money but still doesn't cover the cost for everything that they need or want.
Exactly.
No, but I think one of the things I've always thought was quite big was to be competitive, to be consistent is the biggest thing. Is, turn up, put in the work, do the effort, get the graft, compete. In the oval racing circuit, there's a class that a lot of people drive in that you get bonus points for competing with a consistent vehicle the whole season. So you get, even if you finish last, you still get points for competing, and then you get points for doing the whole season in the same vehicle. Because I know a lot of people in oval racing, it breaks, it blows up, it does anything, and then they come out in something different. But that's a bit different to the drag racing circuit, that they get bigger and better every year. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've got this year. I think you're going to surprise quite a few people.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that surprise me with that, because my dad is actually he's rewired the whole bike as well. He's had a lot of help from people, but he's rewired the whole bike, and he doesn't seem like the kind of person, it's his first time doing it. I think not just like me being on the bike and hopefully getting hold of it quickly, just how much that's been done by just and me helping in the garage at weekends.
Yeah, so a lot of it is you have to work at the same speed as your father. So I mean, you've got to learn there, because there's going to be some things that if you just sit there and ride it, it's going to be very hard for you to understand, because you're going to say it's not doing this. But I often think that people these days, they say, well, it's not doing this, and this is the reason it's not doing it, and then you can help in that respect. If you have a mechanically understanding of your bike, you're going to have a lot more sense and a lot more learning curve for that vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to. My dad taught me how to take out the clutch and put it back in, so I can do that after runs on my own, and just the other little bits will be helpful. He's not got to do that. He can leave me to and go on my own.
I think that's going to be great. It's going to be a great season for you. I think it's going to be great fun. What do you think is the thing that you need to work on? I wouldn't say it's a weakness, but let's just say I think stepping up to 1,000cc is going to be something that's big on your agenda.
Yeah, I think just learning the bike, and learning more racecraft, learning how to win and lose, because sometimes you get people who win and they're big-headed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But then you've got to be able to lose well as well.
Yeah. So if you can change one thing just about the racing thing in general, probably much. I mean, what would you change? What would be your number one thing that you want to see more of? That's a bit of more bikes.
Just in racing, more bike classes and more bikes in the classes.
Yeah, I know that the Outlaw Anglia have suffered this year with numbers, so a lot of their classes have been taken away, which their events, I should say, have been taken away. I'm often in the same thing. I just feel for the people that if they say there's a class and there's only 5 people in it, and you think, oh dear, how do you progress yourself as a person when there's only other 4 competitors? Because you know that you're going to qualify, you know that you're going to be in a pretty much in a quarterfinal situation. But it'd be great fun to see a lot more bikes and a lot more racers in general. I think racers and riders.
I mean, for last year, the junior bike class bumped up a lot. From when I first started racing in 2023, about 13, 14. I think last year one event.
Yeah. I say the groups last year. Well, I mean, that was probably the biggest group I've ever seen for that class. So we know that people are coming to that class. A lot of families are coming to that class. One that pops into my head is Scott Collier. I don't know and the Cordells and things like that. There are people that are family orientated and they bring in their families into it. So there is a continuation of the classes, and I did see that with Junior Dragster, that when people qualified and they got to the end of JMA and they've gone on to other things, you just think, oh, I really wish that there were people behind them, to fill in those gaps. And I think that they are coming in slowly. You probably see a lot. You'd probably want a lot more, a lot quicker. But we know that there's a lot of financial restraints with those bikes and with those cars. So one thing that I've always said is you just want to make it more accessible to people.
Yeah. Which is hard because you just don't know how much it's going to cost to do certain things. You don't know what could happen at an event, and you've got to then rebuild a bike or a car.
Yeah, absolutely. But so what's your most proud moment then? What do you think that junior, what was that? Was that winning the Euros?
Coming second in the European Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's the pinnacle of your career.
Yeah.
And that's something you aspire to push it that one step further in ET. I mean, you've got to, in the back of your head, you've got to wanna win somewhere along the line.
Oh yeah, I'd love to win an event. I don't really care when, like this year, next year, in the next 5 years. But I'd love to win an event in ET Bike.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be me. And I was so proud of Scott Collier in the final, and that I beat one of them, because they're two very, very great riders in the class.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot more people that want to do well, and that there are a lot of people that are quite happy with the way that they are at the moment. So I would like to see ET Bike grow. Super Street seems to be the pinnacle at the moment. I'd like to see the bigger classes go, the Top Fuels and the funny bikes and things like that. I'd like to see a lot more of those classes grow, but I know that the bigger bikes cost a lot more money. There's a lot more mechanical know-how in those. But yeah, it's a start of a new season for you, and I suppose it's, the junior drag bike has now completed itself. We'll draw a line under that. We're now in ET Bike.
Yeah.
Now it's to start day one again.
Yeah.
And it would be good. It'd be, say I have no favourites in any class, and I'm just going to be rooting for everybody because I want everybody to win, and I know that's not how it works. I'll cheer for anyone. It'll be great to see how you progress. I know Jess is now on our team, and she's going to come around and see you, and she's going to be badgering you for some information and see how you're getting on, and we'll share those through Pit Notes. But always come back and have a chat and just tell us how you're getting on. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to sit there and say, this wasn't quite right and that wasn't quite right. But I think that the trick is to spring back from it and say,
yeah, exactly.
That was then. We're going to brush over that, and this one's going to be totally different.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever
pulls you down makes you stronger.
Absolutely, and I know I think you did one of our championship stories, and I said to Jess, what's the one word that you would whatever you would say. What would you say to the next person? They've never done it before, and what would you say to them? What's the shining light? And she just said, just do it, just get on with it, just participate, because you'll love it. And I think that's the same for everyone. They love it in their own special way, but I think you're gonna shine in ET.
Thank you. I really hope I have a good season. It's just learning the bike. It could take 3-4 events before I'm actually got the bike running good, or it could take one event. You just don't know what could happen at an event. Absolutely. You never know what's around the corner, and I say corner. It's a bit strange because you go in a straight line. So, but I say it's never. You do actually turn one corner because you turn off the track. Because if you go in a straight line, you'll end up in Northampton, and you'll never stop. Yeah.
But so you've got your pick. The only difference is now you won't be in the junior drag bike pit. So
No, that is it's gonna be different. But then there's a lot of people in ET Bike that I already know, so it'll be
yeah,
as equally welcoming as it was in the junior pit.
and that always seemed to be a very social event as well as a competitive event. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I did like that. I often looked at that and thought, do you know what, that's a good place to be. But
Mm.
I think you're going to be put on the spot a little bit, and I think you're going to have to reset your personal goals. But I think you're gonna get there eventually. And what's good about this is that you're prepared to go the distance to get there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very admirable thing. And I wish you all the luck in the world. I'm going to say Chris is going to
Yep.
sit there and sneeze again, like he does quite regularly.
Yeah, I do cough quite a lot and
That-
sneeze on here. I get cold every time we do a podcast.
But Chris is this is what people don't understand. I record this podcast as an audio podcast, but I see the people that I'm talking to because it makes it a bit easier. But
Yeah.
Chris and I will both say good luck. We will see
Yep.
you at your first event. What is your first event?
It'll be Festival of Power.
Festival of Power. Easter, everybody's
Yep.
coming out to play.
Yep, I can't wait. We've not got long, but the bike is hopefully going to be ready.
Yeah, I think Jess did say that there's 10 feet between the engine and the gearbox at this precise moment in her car. So everybody is sitting there thinking, will I, won't I, will I, won't I? I know some people have already said no, but we've said yes. I've said yes. Well, I've said yes because I have to be there. Chris is on holiday somewhere, living it up, getting his suntan topped up, I think.
No, well, I'm in the caravan somewhere, so.
But I will support you throughout, as we will do with everyone that we ever see on that track. Have a good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much for coming on.
Yeah, and have
Thank you for having me.
a brilliant season in ET Bike.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your evening. Thank you very much. Cheerio.
Thank you.
And here we are again. Great interviews there. Great interviews from Jess and Declan. Always got time for all the racers and riders, especially those that have toiled through the junior ranks. Always great to hear their stories, as I'm sure every story of every guest that we have is always going to be interesting to me because I love every part of it. Just some final bits and pieces of a bit of a roundup for Eurodragster.com. We are scheduled for next Saturday at Santa Pod for the Dial-In Day. We hope to see some people there, have a good chat, have a good catch-up, see some people, see what they've been up to over the winter's time in the garages. I know that some people come out to use it as a test bed. Also, there hopefully will be some newcomers. We'll try and catch up with some of them. Maybe catch some chats, record some bits and pieces. That'll be really good. Always great to see things like that and hear things like that. And as soon as we do, we'll bring them straight to you via this podcast. Always wonderful to know that people are downloading this podcast because, if I'm honest, I didn't think I would go anywhere where we are. We're on episode 6 now. Always great to see more. Always great to see people's messages supporting us. And I'm just hoping that we can live up to your expectations. And I say we'll be at Dial-In Day, so I hope to catch some people there. Towards the end of the month, I will be at Pod again for the first event of Straightliners at Santa Pod. Love that. Love doing that. That's really good fun. Nice to see all the bikes. Nice to see some of the cars as well. Let's hope for a good turnout. I hope for a good day's weather and hope for a good day's racing. This Saturday with the Dial-In Day, I say it'll be Chris and I. Jess is to join us, and hopefully that Kirsty can join us too. We'll get some pictures, we'll put up some galleries, and we'll do some feedback from that. With regards to other bits and pieces going around, this has now come out probably after the event is concluded in America for the NHRA at the Amelie Motor Oil NRHA Gatornationals at Gainesville. If you don't want to know the results, turn off now or come back a little bit later. Give us 2 minutes. I'm just going to go through all the classes, all the winners, all the information, just so, because that's a good thing to do. We've been trying to get more and more from America, and I'm hoping to get a few more connections. But we'll keep trying, and we'll keep digging. So Top Fuel was taken by Josh Hart. Funny Car was taken by Chad Green. Pro Stock was Matt Hartford. Pro Stock Motorcycle was taken by Richard Gadsden. Pro Mod was taken by Derek Menholt. Sean Bellamere took Top Alcohol Funny Car. Peter D'Angelo took Comp Eliminator. Super Stock went to Daniel Fletcher. Stock Eliminator went to Jeff Atkinson. Kelly Kundratic, Super Comp, I hope I got all that right. Jason Dewitt, Super Gas. Top Sportsman with James Hinkle. Jackie Bennett took Top Dragster. Factory Stock Showdown went to Richard Horde. The All-Star Top Fuel Call-Out went to Anton Brown. He was in the final against Clay Milliken, and Clay had an engine cut off. He thinks it was a possible rod out that put pan pressure that cuts to the engine. And Bruce Larchen took the NHRA Legends race. So they were the results from the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals for 2026, the first event on the NHRA circuit with their 75 years anniversary. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for downloading this episode wherever you get your episodes from. Always great to hear from you. And if you want to be a guest, drop us a line. We now have a new email account. It's podcast@Eurodragster.com. Drop us a line on that. That'll get sent to everybody that will pick it up. So somebody will pick it up eventually. But join us next time when we'll just have more of the same. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. Catch up with you soon.
That was the Eurodragster podcast. For drag racing news, reports, galleries and classifieds, visit Eurodragster.com. Join Graham and Chris next time for more from the world of drag racing.